Here we are guys with a new video. Today we are going to talk about him, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. We already saw everywhere now. The new Samsung has this new material, the titanium, which should make it a bit lighter than the Galaxy S23 Ultra, but honestly sometimes when you are holding the hands, this one it looks even heavier than the other one. But it makes very beautiful, it's very nice to handle it, it's not slippery, it's actually really strong because this part is like a bit flat and not anymore curved as before. Maybe no one told you, but the cameras have a more gap, are more outside than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Even this one is actually more outside than the past. On this side we don't have anything rather than the antennas. On the top we have only the microphone and antennas. On this side we have the power button and the volume things. Below we have the the SIM tray, the Type-C speaker, and this one, the S Pen, which is always the most beautiful things. On 99% of the time I even forget I have the S Pen in this phone, but actually when I receive the document and I really need to sign something to send it over, especially when you are in a rush time and you know that you have the S Pen on that time, is actually make the best things ever. On this part we have 5 cameras. I forgot to tell you before, this is the display 6.8 inch. It's absolutely an amazing display. No one is better than this one for me. We can unlock with the finger or we can unlock with the face recognition. Sorry, I'm just receiving some text. And the face recognition is actually pretty nice as well, but if you're wearing a hat or sunglasses, sometimes it does not really recognize you, and if you're not on a bright area as well, sometimes has some issues. But even for Samsung, the face unlock is actually less secure than fingerprint. In fact, if you like to do the mobile payment, you can only use the fingerprint and not the face unlock. Then this display, it contains less reflex than other displays, so if you are outside you can actually read very well. It's super bright, it's 2600 nits, so bright and less reflex. Then let's talk about software. On this device we have One UI 6.1, which is not a big step ahead with the 6.0, because I mean the graphic is completely the same as the other one. But if you are going, for example, in setting, we now have new option. One is actually this one, I was already here, to show the wallpaper on the lock screen as well. But this one will actually consume a lot more of battery, and we will talk about battery in a moment, because honestly I've noticed that the always on display is actually using much more battery compared to before. So we have one of the first things that we can actually use, it's the generative wallpaper with the AI. So it's a bit like the Pixel 8 Pro. We just use something and we just give some option, and this one actually will create some wallpaper. The wallpaper looks like better than the Pixel 8 Pro, but actually I think has a less choice than the Pixel 8 Pro. But on that I'm not 100% sure. Now I don't have the 8 Pro anymore, so I cannot really compare it. And then there is the ambient picture, which is like on the wallpaper you will see how is it the weather outside. If it's raining, it should be raining on your wallpaper. If it's snowing, the same. I don't really know about the sun or dark, because actually I've never used it. I'm enjoying the official wallpaper from Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which you can actually download in my Telegram as well. What else to say about the One UI? So first of all, the voice audio now are actually better than before, are very similar to the iPhone, not the same one, but they are very similar to the new iPhone, and the fluidity of the software is actually amazing. Before I was complaining a little bit with the S23 Pro, because sometimes when you unlock the phone after 5-10 minutes, it's taking sometimes to elaborate and to work better again. So on this one you don't have all of these lags. So it's actually, as soon as you unlock it, you can work straight away with the maximum speed, and it works super well. You can see already from the camera, it doesn't have any issue to move all around from the apps everywhere. You can go, I don't know, here, and you can see it's downloading straight away. You can already navigate, so it's actually very fluid on everything you are doing. And Samsung promised as well 7 years of upgrade, which is fantastic. You will not use this phone for 7 years, or at least the majority of the people will not use it for 7 years. But you can actually sell it again, and when you sell on second hands, there are still software upgrade. You can actually have a better price as well. What else? Then there is some aggressivity from Samsung on this One UI 6.1, because you can actually see that wherever you're doing, Samsung is trying to let you use Samsung services rather than other services. One of the few is actually from the keyboard, because now, sorry, where I'm going, because now with the keyboard you cannot really use a keyboard. I'm sorry, I'm just doing again this one. So you cannot really use a keyboard from Google, for example, but you need to use this one from Samsung if you like to enjoy all the AI feature that there are in here. Now, okay, now there is nothing in here, so I don't really have any featuring AI. But if you're going to write something, if you wrote a mess, the AI in here will do a magic. To be honest, it's very useful, it's very handy. That's why I'm still using this keyboard, because actually the AI is very useful in this case. But yeah, you are slave to use the Samsung keyboard. The same is for the autofill, because when you go in the Samsung wallet, there is always the pop-up, oh, use Samsung autofill because it's better, blah 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 blah. So you're starting to use the Samsung autofill. Also, if you go inside the browser, this is my website, for example, you have only the AI capacity only if you're using Samsung browser rather than, for example, Google Chrome, like in this case, like translate and etc. For me, there is no problem, because I'm always using the Samsung browser. I don't really mind. I use both actually, the Samsung and the Google. But in this case, if you like to enjoy all the AI feature, you need to use the Samsung browser. Then let's talk about camera. We already saw there are 5 cameras. There is all the same with the previously one, rather than the periscope, which is now 50 megapixel, and then there is 10 megapixel, 200 megapixel. Then there is from this other side as well the 12 megapixel. So it's actually nothing changed other than the periscope camera. Now you are thinking, okay, 50 megapixel means the zooms are better. Luckily not. Actually, zoom are even worse than S23 Ultra, and I've tested many times as well. Now, if I do, for example, the picture of this little plant, so the time that you actually are shooting a picture is actually faster than before, so it doesn't take much time. And actually, I want to show you one thing, since I have this plant in here. So you can actually hide now the little things in here that allows you to go inside the circle to search. Sorry, I need to go actually in the camera. So if I want to activate now the circle to search, I just click here, I search in here, and he's searching now this plant on internet. So it's actually working very well. In this case, maybe it didn't work super well, but it's actually working very well. So this is the Samsung interface. For me, it's much cleaner than before. And now I'll just show you a couple of examples of pictures. after I show you the picture, there is one of the feature with AI that actually I really like, because it's something that I'm always doing, and now if you actually click on a video, it goes as a slow motion. This is a bit nice, because when you see a story, maybe you want to see better, it's like something natural that you go to click in there and you hope that that thing is stopping because you want to see better. So having something similar on a video is actually really nice. It's awesome, and it works very well, to be honest. Okay, in some cases you actually see that there are things that it's not creating very well, but honestly for me it's working perfectly. Then if you have like a picture, you can go in editing, sorry, you have all the normal editing that we have seen on all the other Samsung. So already from here you can actually go in here, and you have already the option to cancel an object from the picture, which is working very well as well, as you can see. Okay, now it was a small object, but then you can also go inside the AI, and from here you can start to work as well. If I use this option, honestly I never used it because for me they are not really handy, because I mean, for me it doesn't make sense to have a picture like that, and then I'm just going to select, for example, myself. Sorry, I didn't select me well, and I'm just going to make myself, for example, bigger. I'm going to generate it. I don't know, I mean, for me there is no, I don't know, for me it doesn't make any big sense, these things. I never use it, and honestly I don't know if I will use it in the future. Maybe you're gonna use it, but I'm not, in this case I'm not a big fan. Maybe the only one I like more is that one, because now, for example, I moved myself like that, and I want to generate again this part. On this one, yes, it works well, but actually now it's working. I mean, I'm using just because I've made this mess with this picture, or otherwise I don't know for how long I will be using. Actually now it's done, and it did honestly perfectly. It's actually perfect how it does it. I like more the editing that it was on the Google Pixel 8 Pro, because on that one is you actually really have some strong editing on the picture, and it was making more beautiful to post on Instagram as well. So in that case, yes, it was working because it was very beautiful how it works, the AI. What else to say? Battery, it's 5000 milliampere in here. So for many people they say that actually the battery is much better than before. It's a big improvement. On my experience, I didn't see this big improvement. Sometimes I only have 2 hours of active display, and it's already on 20% of battery remaining. So it's not, I don't know, for me it's not a big improvement. It's actually worse than S24 Ultra. And you have this few things that like a few protection for battery. I don't know why Samsung moved from 85% of the previously one to 80%. For me 85% was up on at least on the S23 Ultra was absolutely perfect, because I was taking off on 85% and I was going to work, and I was coming back at home that it was still on 20%. So I was going to sleep that it was on 15% of battery left, which for me was perfect. In this case we have 80%. Now you're thinking, okay, it's only 5% less, it's not a big drama. No, it is, because 80%, but in here the battery it's lasting less than the S23 Ultra. I repeat, this is on my in my case. So I reached the evening on the same day that I'm doing with the S23 Ultra. I reached the evening that it's like 5-6% of battery left. It's much less than before, to be honest. So I don't really see this big improvement. Then there's the adaptive one, which is actually good, because it reached the 80%, and then he realized before you need to use the phone, it goes to up to 100% of battery. This is useful, actually it works, and I'm using now this adaptive one to work through the day, because honestly I will not reach the evening if I am with that type of protection. What else to say? Nothing much. The phone costs more than £1,000 if you were pre-ordering, but now there are no more of this offer, I believe. You had lots of discount. it worth an upgrade from the S23 Ultra? Absolutely not. Don't do it, because I mean, if you believe that you're gonna use all the AI feature, then the featuring, yes, then I would say okay, just do it, because you will use a lot of this AI. If you're like me, that you're actually not really using, you don't really find it handy, for example, the editing picture, don't do that, because maybe some of this feature will come on the S23 Ultra as well, and will not be only for this phone. What else to say? Nothing. I think I've covered everything. S24 Ultra is absolutely a perfect phone. It's the best Android phone that you can find right now. Beautiful, fast. Anyway, there are good cameras. I like the picture that it gives me. Some AI can be handy, some AI will be not handy at all, but for me it's a good phone. So for Pasquale, for MBlogger.it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet, and like the video if you believe that you like this phone. If you like to ask me anything, just write it down in the comment below. Bye guys, see you to the next video.